when the puzzle is hard, it becomes fun and exciting. And when it becomes unimaginably difficult, it becomes boring and minds quit knowing and thinking about it. It's the world market. So said the wise. Son, welcome again, to continue to know the secrets. Son, when the devil steals from you, he always hides his theft in your garden. And it leaves you searching for your rights in the barren deserts. I will force this demon again today, to tell you what is hidden about the game of development of society and the secrets of the global market. And do not forget, as usual, be patient with his impudence a little, until he tells you. This is his damned nature. Just let him speak. He is now for the first time finding someone to force him to tell the truth.
Listen, boy. Of course you know I almost suffocate when I'm talking to you. Where you're wise, this compels me to tell the truth. And I never got used to telling the facts, you know. So today, I'm going to tell you two secrets together. I will tell you first, how to manage the system of continuous technical and craft development and the use of technology. Of course you now know that all of our plans have two sides. That comfortable and beautiful face known to you, which is published and ranted through all of our media and our upper institutions. And the other side that you always know nothing about. As for the next rule, which is maintaining continuous technical and craft development and the use of technology. First of all, the overt goal of that. In short, unobtrusive. Facilitating people's lives and expanding the range of services provided to and from everyone, with ease, accuracy and speed, and thus the development of society. This approach is adopted by the loyal local authority. And now to you, the secret side. We care a lot about our plans in general to be more confident with people over time, and not the other way around. So that we can easily control everyone's minds for many centuries to come. Everyone must feel that the younger generations are running their business in a more sophisticated, fast and intelligent way than the way their parents used to. Both in their fields, farms, homes and shops, small and large. And others. Until they are certain that what they learn and apply from our fake curricula will bear tangible results. Thus, they do not deviate from it and do not doubt its truth with the passage of time. Since they are all stereotyped and think the same as a herd of animals, pre-programmed. Many of them will not be able to introspect and understand that what they call evolution is nothing but walking in the same place, but in different forms and speeds. And that all the alleged development in the end will not offer anything really new. So that the shop is just a shop, the field is just a field, and the house is just a house. Just managed in different ways through the ages. And even they won't easily notice that there are houses, shops and fields that were equipped and managed in a more sophisticated way in earlier times. Rather, it would not occur to them the extent of the foresight and the greatness with which such things were managed in the past times. Despite this, everything is over and the cycle always begins again. But these previous times will always be relatively far away from them in chronologically. So that he will only understand what is under his feet of a false, closed and temporary development. Thus, our game will continue forever in peace. And now I will move with you to the drier and more complicated rule. How do we manage the global market? Pay close attention, because I will not repeat my words again. And what is worse is that you will only be able to know this from me personally. Therefore, open your mind and heart. And close your mouth well, and your eyes open as much as you can. Point and finished. It all revolves around our setting up of the great temples, which are called openly by you, the central banks. Our next rule is clearly the establishment of central banks in all countries. We place the independence of the central bank, the integrity of its financial dealings, its financial legislative decisions, the superiority of its expertise and its authority over all private banks in the country, the most important legal legislation ever. The overt goal of it is protecting individuals from monopolizing the exchange rate of any currency, and legal and legislative financial control of private banks' transactions between them and individuals, and protecting society from unexpected collapses of private banks. The most important thing is to maintain the rates of inflation and stagnation, and the proportionality of prices with incomes, and thus the economic balance in the country. And now you will know the secret purpose of its establishment, and how things are managed from the top. In fact, central banks are nothing more than the upper arm of the Bank for International Settlements that we own and run with a professionalism that is unimaginable to any ordinary human being. The main objective of its establishment is that we become the only ones legally and in a monopolistic manner who are able to issue financial bonds that can be traded between people and private banks and all kinds of exchange movement. And we determine its value in the market according to our own criteria. Therefore, only we will be able, on completing the banking game to the end, where government bonds are issued out of nothing and without a cover or real value, and we take real values in return. That is, we remain the only ones, based on our legislative and legal power, who can decide which blank paper has no value. It could be a financial document exactly and has the right to buy and sell in the markets and gain purchasing power. In short, we remain the only ones who are able to sell the illusion and replace it with material facts and real gains on the ground for our benefit only. And based on the legal power of central banks, we will not have other competitors in the world, of course, by force of law, and under the pretext of preserving the country's national security. While, in fact, any private banking financial institution can issue its own financial bonds, any currency of its own, and this will not affect the real financial system in anything. Rather, it will be very useful in determining the exchange rate for all currencies honestly and impartially. And here I will give you an example so that you understand this technique. If you imagine that the whole world is one country, you will simply notice that this very large country deals among its different cities, countries, in different currencies at one time. And you will notice that this does not harm anything, but rather helps to determine the real exchange values of each security impartially. The same is true for a small country. Any private bank, banking or economic institution can issue its own currency and financial bonds and put them up for competition in the markets, and people deal with them easily. And this is what is neutralized by those central banks that we designed in the form of our ancient fortified temples that were owned by our ancient bankers, priests, ancestors. Also, you must now understand that the difference in the current currencies in the world is not outside our comprehensive system. As we own all currencies at one time, and we issue all financial bonds in the world at one time, in amounts and percentages that no one knows but us. Because we simply have a central bank in every country in the world that issues each currency separately. And all of them participate in one network that flows into the Bank of Settlements and then directly into our hands without anyone else. In the end, only we are able to sell nothing for the real values produced, manufactured and cultivated by the entire world. Boy, am I really about to suffocate now. Whenever I feel I have already revealed these secrets to you, so go to your sage now, perhaps I can tell you the rest of the secrets later.
The wise man watches and smiles, then he says, "Well, son, it looks like he's already suffocating. Leave him now, on the promise that I will keep forcing him next time too, until he tells you the rest of the secrets. Only if you receive an invitation from me, accept it and come to us to continue the conversation."